Yes, everybody, welcome back to the 5-Star Potential Podcast Social. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe, and we're on to another podcast today. I believe it's our 20th daily podcast of Lockdown 2, and hopefully you guys are enjoying them and keeping well and keeping safe. My name is Dave, and alongside me today, as you can see, we have got Dupe. Dupe, how's it going, man?
Episode 20, man.
Yeah.
We've hit double figures. Boom. Yes, Dave, it's good. Should I go try and put an echo on this as well? Or
yeah, apologies about yesterday's podcast, everyone. That was my fault. That wasn't Dupe's.
I got fucking pouters for that, Dave.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, but then you commented to someone, we're working on it. I can't edit audio on YouTube after it's gone up.
Well, you can. Find a fucking way, Dave. I'm great, Dave. Absolutely great. Great to be here, mate. Great to be with you, mate. I couldn't think of anywhere I'd prefer to be right now apart from here or bed. And I picked here.
Good lad. Love
that from you.
Well, it's only because last time I went to bed with Joey, there's something bad happened, so I don't want to do that again.
Wow. Okay. We've got also
Facts.
Joe, Friday Night FM. Joe, how's it going, man?
All good, mate. All good. Good day.
Enjoyed a decent day off ish.
Yeah, it's been nice, mate. 24/11 of our last video is the best point of my day.
I'm not going to ruin it. It's a cracker.
I've just timestamped this one for people to go back and look at the last one.
Yeah, just to keep you up to date, and I'm quite happy with this. You do see probably one of my...
Dupe had one of his meal deals.
You see my meal deal, mate, basically. You see a good old crack, that's all I'm saying.
And we
you
are...
can park a bus in there.
We're delighted to have Niran with us today, FNG, as our special guest. Niran, how's it going, man?
Yeah, it's going all right, lads. I hope you're all doing relatively well.
We are.
Yeah, no, I've just been chilling, enjoying lockdown, doing nothing, going nowhere. So I'm happy to be here. Can't lie.
Good man.
It's mad to think that you've got to stay in your house when Dave's played cricket today.
Disgusting behaviour. Where's my cricket? What's going on? Why can't I play?
Sorry, Dave. That's the last dig I do about that, by the way.
I'll try and think of a dig for that t-shirt. I'm sure, or shirt, sorry. I'll try and think of one throughout the podcast. But,
okay, mate.
Yeah.
Come back to me if you do, mate.
I'll work on it.
I've had a good session, Dave.
Yeah, go on. You can say that. I'll think of one as well. I'll think of one. Is this a norm for you, Niran? What are your sleeping pattern like? Because this is a fairly late recording. Are you a night?
Yeah, no. I haven't actually technically eaten dinner yet, so that will be on the agenda after this.
Can I recommend a meal deal?
Go on.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, give me one. Give me one that you recommend right now. I think Tesco might be shut though, unfortunately.
Ah, shit.
Other supermarkets are available.
Sorry, we're not sponsored by anyone. You can name what you want.
That's the next step, though. That's the next step to Tesco.
Tomorrow's is sponsored by Sainsbury's, isn't it?
Maybe. But yeah, no. So it's fine. Don't worry. This is the usual for myself.
Yeah.
3 a.m. bedtimes, waking up at 12. You know how it is.
YouTuber life.
It's lockdown, to be honest. Yeah. It messes with your sleep, with your schedules and everything. So
so obviously, what's life been like? First lockdown. Obviously, you were already in the content creator world, I'd assume, back in March, April, whenever it was first announced. What sort of impact early doors did that have on your sort of life?
It was. It's gonna sound proper mundane, given the gravity of Corona, but it actually didn't have apart from how YouTube worked and views and views of interest. For me on a day-to-day, it didn't change that much, apart from obviously going out and seeing people. The social side was just obliterated, but from content creation, it didn't change a huge amount. It gave me more time to start streaming though, which is something that I always wanted to do and I never had time for before. So that was at least something. And getting into FM.
Yeah, and it's been weird for a lot of people. Obviously coming in and out of lockdown. What is your? Yeah. You live with people. Would you class as friends, innit? Because you've obviously moved out of your home now anyway. So has that been sort of ideal for you to be living with people you get along with and so on, could still socialise and have similar interests to?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. I'll fully accept that I've been quite lucky during lockdown in the sense that I live with Arav, who also makes YouTube videos, and just generally I do a job that I can work from home anyway. So quite lucky in two senses there. But yeah, again, it was just sort of obviously a weird thing to get used to, not being able to go out and see people and do stuff from a social aspect, but. Yeah, it was at least nice to have someone to live with that I could see. Because I love my parents; they're brilliant. But I think living with them 24/7 during the lockdown might have been an interesting experience. So I'm happy at least I'm in London.
So where are your parents? Like Nottingham, was it? Am I right?
Yeah, so my parents both live in Nottingham.
Stalker.
That's where I grew up.
I was going to say, it's a bit deep.
Not doing
Yeah,
research,
man.
innit?
Is it this specific road?
Yeah.
When you go down, it's just on the left-hand side.
That's
Blue
it.
Garage,
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I say I walk a dog past there all the time, mate. Yeah, they're based there.
So and when did you move to London? Is that quite recent as well? Or has that been a couple of years?
It was last summer. So this is like my first like full year living here. It's been a great one. So I've been here about a year and a half, but like since the age of like 4, I lived in Nottingham.
Yeah.
So is it just the 2 content creators in the house?
Yes, yeah, it is. Just me and Arav.
And you do quite different content, right?
Yeah. Well, he does a lot more like racing F1 based stuff. For me, I actually started doing a lot of that like way back in the day, like 5-6 years ago. I used to do F1 stuff as well, but I used to do FIFA 2, and then eventually sort of just realised that okay, out of the 2, probably FIFA's the best one to do here. So ended up going down that route instead. But obviously very interested in F1 still, so we have a lot in common. But he's a dickhead.
He makes some good. I mean, I have to admit, I'm a big F1 fan. So is Joe, and I definitely do watch his videos. I think they're great.
Yeah, he's class. To be fair, I rate the consistency. I couldn't get that together even during lockdown when I had about 18 spare hours a day. I wasn't managing to.
You're still too busy.
Upload daily. But still.
You didn't realise he lived with Niran, did you? Until a couple of months ago?
No, it didn't.
What?
No, do you know? I think it was after the Streamer Showdown.
Yeah.
You did like a side-by-side race together or something, and you're like, "Oh, I'm just with my roommate." I'm like, "What?
Wait, what?" yeah, legit, yeah.
The thing is, like for us, especially Football Manager, like it's very it's unheard of that anybody would be in like a house together with other content creators.
We're all saddos, mate.
Yeah.
We're all saddos. Yeah.
Speak for yourself, mate.
Yeah, Dave, go on now.
But like it's very much a difficult game to kind of do with other people, and like I think the content creation is so small that the group is like there's only 3 or 4 that are actually full time. So unless you're full time, you wouldn't kind of bunk up together, if that makes sense. So for me, it was just like, what? Hang on, you live with another person that also makes content. That must be amazing dynamic.
It's mad. It all comes down to like the logistics as well. I remember like because we've known each other like properly since like probably 15, 16, like on socials and just online and stuff, and then met like for the first time in 2017 at an F1 race. And we were always just calm. And which one?
Yeah,
it was Silverstone.
17.
Kept it.
I'm pretty sure Dude was there that year. It might be in 2018, dude.
Might have been, to be honest. It was when the 2 Ferraris had like tyre blowouts or something. Right?
No, I was 18. I was when Hamilton spun on the first lap.
Oh yeah.
And it was like it was 18 because it was the World Cup.
That was one of my favourite races.
Sick.
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
Mate, I tell you what, I have to admit, even if you don't like F1, that weekend was tremendous because you go to qualifying, you come out of qualifying you go to the beer tent, and then on the big screen it was just, I think it was England versus Sweden. And it was just such a great atmosphere. It's great watching it with 8,000 people. I mean, imagine you can't even do that now.
I can only imagine, actually. That whole summer as well was like, sorry, this is a complete nostalgic tangent here.
Yeah.
But that whole summer was just amazing. I like the World Cup, the vibes, Gareth Southgate's waistcoat.
Yeah, because
I was finishing uni. It was amazing.
So I went to a place called Bluestones, which is in South Wales, which is like one of those holiday park places.
Yeah.
And it was when it was like really, really hot. I come back from there on the Wednesday, literally loaded the car up, went to the Formula One. I bought my TwitchCon ticket at the campsite for San Jose, trying to get the signal to do that. Came back from Silverstone, absolutely. Oh, I've never drunk so much in the 5 days I was there. And then I went for surgery on my hernia, and then I had 6 weeks off. It was a fucking brilliant summer.
Man, that's an explosive summer. Jesus.
I literally remember, but it was. I had my operation the day we had the semi-final. And I was like,
oh God!
I did it through work, so thankfully it was private, and so I could book it like right in for the time slot. And I'm like, I booked for the morning, so I want to be out for football. And he's like, well, you need to do this or this. Just write down what I need to do, and I'll do it to make sure I'm out for football. And he was like, well, we do have the football on the TVs. I was like, I'm still coming home for football.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shame the football wasn't.
Imagine if you Trippier scored that goal and then just before you went into the operation and you come back and you saw the result.
Oh mate, I've literally gone down. So they've just put it on as I see Trippier score the free kick, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna fucking World Cup final. And I come back and with 2, as Harry Kane should have squared it.
PTSD.
You know what I've not seen on Twitter for ages as well? My life peaked when Trippier scored. That's definitely going to come up tomorrow. Yeah.
I think that was a really weird summer as well, because that was when I put I had my big push for partnership on Twitch. So like I had 6 weeks off and I was too scared to stream. So I didn't want it to affect that. And this is when the partnerships were taking ages. I mean, they take a long time now, but it was taking ages to hear back. And like my numbers were good and my consistency was good. It was just like, I've got all this time in the day that I'm not streaming because I was too scared to get like, you know, a really low stream and be like, oh fuck. So I literally just sat for 6 weeks planning how I could maybe get numbers to get partnered, and then didn't get partnered. It was great. Rip. Oh mate, when it just
great summer.
You're in now, so
it was one of the best.
Mate, summer in general, like I wonder when we'll be able. I mean, we had a quick discussion before off camera about the whole situation with football grounds and stuff like that. I wonder when the world will be back to some normality when you're allowed that many people in. It's going to be such a long time, isn't it? Like maybe next summer it might be a bit better, but in terms of roaming around, going out in public, like masks, I think are going to be a norm for the next few years.
It's like, what is it like? One of the girl who works at our place, she's like, well, you know, I beg, borrowed and steal to get enough money together to get Glastonbury tickets. When is it feasible that Glastonbury is going to happen again? To the scale that Glastonbury works.
The worst part is they'll keep that money as well. They won't give it back to you until like the next one they can actually do.
Yeah, but
so just keep your money and then just say, oh yeah, but you've got like a first dibs for the one in 2024. Yeah. So have fun at that one.
Wolves did that though. You know where right as lockdown happened, we had a game versus Olympiacos in the Europa League. And you either, when obviously that got cancelled, you either had to apply for a refund, or they'd give you the money off the next European game. We went to Seville. We're not back in Europe now, so everyone's just got this pocket of money waiting in the club.
No, you get relegated, and then you're never going to be back.
To be fair, I think they said the next time we're in a domestic cup, but at the same time, the Europa League ticket is like 30 quid. If you're playing like Barnet in the League Cup, you know what I mean? Like you ain't going to want the money off that, are you? So
but we've said the minute that we can,
sorry, Barnet.
The minute that we can, we're going to meet up and go play top golf, and just like, because again, we all kind of live quite far away, but we've always said we've never met up the three of us together. And we're like, right, we're going to go do this, and this. But when is that? When can we actually do that?
Apart from your charity stream, dude.
Yeah, but Dave really didn't.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't all drive to your house.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, but Dave, how long were you here for? Like an hour or so?
No, I was with Joe.
Together. We're together. And then I had streamed for 48 hours and you went to bed.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. No.
Disgusting.
True.
We're on his stream.
But yeah, okay. But you know what I mean?
Cricket the next day.
Cricket. So I think that's something to look forward to, but it's just like, it's crazy that these restrictions. And when you think like Formula One, there's like 120,000 people that go to that over the course of the weekend. Yeah. That's never going to happen again. Like, it's going to be a long time before that happens again.
It's like festivals, races, like.
Well, you know the rush down to the podium, right?
Oh, mate.
Which is literally just like a death rule. Like a death run.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you are stamping, you are just elbowing, you are like hitting old ladies onto the floor, just doing whatever you can to get as close as you can.
Slapping, just like, I remember doing that for
kegging people and just
getting your way through the crowd.
You just whoop, there's your skirt, love.
It's carnage going through.
Oh man.
At least there's like what's it called? Vaccine on the way.
Fingers crossed, man.
You never know. It's just got to get through everybody eventually. I think next summer we'll be able to do stuff like
bit better,
relatively normal. Like it'll be like the summer we just had, where you could mostly go out and do whatever you like, apart from go to a club or like a massive.
I was thinking nightclubs, mate. Imagine that first weekend nightclubs or some sort of bars are back open properly, mate.
I mean, mate, you say imagine it. I won't be able to remember
mate,
it. To be honest with you,
it'll be disgusting.
It'll be a catastrophe. I don't know about anyone else, but.
You have to go out wearing protection before you even go out, just to be safe. Not in the pocket, just on.
Just on, just in case.
Dry, mate.
GoPro on, fixed to my head. just in case something. Oh God, man! Honestly, it'll be chaos.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Us married people can't wait for those days.
Oh man.
Nah, what's
That's when
your
we'll start the network save, Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
First night out, just like, all right, network save.
Network save.
Do you want to go out to the
Come
bar?
around and have a LAN party.
Yeah. I'm driving down to my mate's house to play Football Manager. Sorry, yeah.
Sorry, mate, I can't be there tonight. Apologies. When does pre start? Oh yeah, sorry, mate. That's when my
Come to
stream
your
ends.
surprise. Now I'm playing FM, so yeah. I have done like that.
God, I haven't heard the word pre.
Well, with weekends like streamer showdowns, it is a little bit weird. Like that was that period when they in between. I think to be fair, I think it was just charity streamers. All my mates were like, "Oh, do you want to go out this Saturday?" And they're like, "I'm driving down to Swindon," and they're like, "Why?" "To play Football Manager." And it just sounded really, really weird when your mates are asking you to go out and night out. So,
Virgin.
What in the world?
It was me trying to explain to one of my colleagues. So like being on call at work is horrendous. Being on call at the weekend is even worse. And you're like, so I want to swap call outs with you. What's going on? You got like a family event. I want to play Football Manager.
Yeah.
What?
Against
Well, it's
other
a big
people.
tournament, so I need to. I can't be. What? Yeah, I've got family coming around. Oh, okay, I'll swap with you.
easier to
It
explain.
always makes me crease. It always makes me crease when like you have to explain stuff like that. Like whenever I used to have to explain what I actually did to my family, apart from my parents who kind of understood, but it was just like, yeah, so so basically I play video games and other people watch that,
Yeah.
and then it's just yeah, it's effort. People don't understand.
And what?
It's got to be easier when you're full time though to kind of have that
when
conversation.
you're full time, yeah. When you're full time, it's all right. Because I remember when I first started, and because I just finished. I think I was in year 11 when I first started, and my year 11 grades, like halfway through the year, were a bit dead. And my mum was like, "Listen, I'm not being funny. You need to get your ass together and allow this YouTube stuff." But then eventually, I was able to actually like explain and be like, "Oh yeah, it's all right. It's full time now." But at the start, it was hard to justify as well.
It's just lie to people. Just say, when they say, what do you do? Just say, FIFA. Yeah, I make that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I made that.
You know Castro?
What did you do?
Yeah.
I just made the
literally-
whole game.
I'm Castro.
Yeah.
Oh, wig on, mate. Not even that. To be fair, you could rock the
like
Castro look. Okay. You could rock that Castro look, I
Maybe.
reckon. If you tied your hair back and maybe.
6 stone on.
Oh man. He was our next guest. They're going to come on now, is he? Yeah.
So
You just sorted out the email.
we've got donuts, mate. It's fine.
Jeez.
And what's your relationship been like with friends and family since lockdown kicked on? Obviously, you say you're away from your parents. We've had some people that very
Yeah.
rarely talk to them. Have you been in contact much? Have you FaceTime, Zoom, called, or whatever?
I tend to like try and like have a FaceTime with them. Like, well, my mum doesn't do FaceTime, but
Yeah.
my dad, I'll try and have a call with them at least like once or twice a week. I tend to chat to them most days because I basically like I grew up in Nottingham, then went to university in Nottingham. So this is like the first time I've actually been not away from them. Obviously, I'm not a baby, but this is like the first time that I've been not back home for like 6 months probably at a time. And that's it's been mad, really.
I had my
So,
stag do in Nottingham.
Yeah. It's a great city.
We
mate, for a
went,
start.
so we stayed at this hotel. I can't remember. Oh, well, I can tell you where it is in a second when I finish the story. And we went out. We went to the casino.
Did you go Rock City?
Sorry.
Did you go Rock City?
How did you guess?
I know already,
my
mate. As soon as you said
hotel-
hotel and casino, mate. No,
My
He was there.
hotel was opposite. So my hotel was in the middle. Rock City
Yeah.
was there. A casino was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So we literally come out of.
Lethal combination.
So they said, right, you got to dress in suits, right? You got to dress in suits because we're going to the casino.
Like a hangover.
There was like 6 of us.
Alan.
There was like 6 of us.
Yeah.
There was like five guys my age, and then there was an older lad. Anyway, so we're dressed in suits. We go into the casino. Bang, bang, bang. Fine. Come out of the casino. Had a couple of beers. We're like, well, where's the nightclub? He's like, over here. So we're going to Rock City. And we're queuing up in Rock City, and there is literally some people that I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? And we're all dressed in suits. And everyone's looking at us really weirdly. And then we just get hushed to the front. And the older lad goes, I've got this. And he's like, who are these? Like, why are you dressed in suits? He's like, you remember X Factor a couple of years back, G4? Yeah, this is them. I'm their manager. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, come through. So we got through. And they put us like in this.
Man said G4.
There's no like VIP area, right? There's no like VIP area there.
No, there isn't. There's
no
this little bit
VIPs.
downstairs with tables.
No VIPs. There's these like little booths in the corners, right?
Downstairs, yeah.
So they just kind of like cornered off a food, and then like they were like, "Oh, we don't have any champagne." Like Rock City, it was pretty rough. Like it was one of the. I mean, I don't mean to disrespect your local area, but it was pretty fucking rough. I wiped my feet on the way out. Let's just put it that way.
They were all baffed when you walked in with suits because that's the first time anyone's ever entered the establishment wearing a suit.
So they were like, "Oh, we can't. We haven't got any champagne or any bottles to give you on the house, but we'll have this." And they brought this like B&Q orange bucket full of like water and ice, and it just had 4 cans of Red Stripe in it.
Red Stripe, man. Oh my God.
That is the most Rock City thing I think I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, but it was amazing.
I love that place.
It was
so
amazing.
much.
And then the older lad was just like, we've got to just keep playing to this. So he just kept going like just coming out of the little kind of booth and just on his phone. Yeah, we'll be there. Yeah, no, we're just in here. Yeah, no. Put the phone down and come back in.
That's outstanding. I'd have just gone upstairs. I'd have just
we then went. There's a strip club down the road. We went to there, and then about 2 hours later we found the older bloke sat in the middle of the road, just with his shirt just ripped open like that because he got so angry. I've actually got the picture to that. I'll share the picture at the end. But
dash
that was quite a good stag do. To be fair.
Nottingham is a beautiful city. There's your reason why. It's extremely cultured, as you can see.
It was just, it's just funny. Like, do you know what I mean? We just had a good crack with it.
What would you do, Deep, if you're all sat down and someone came up to you? Oh my God, are you guys from G4? Can I have a selfie?
To be fair, Dave, I'm gonna be completely honest with you now. I don't know whether he said G4, but he said X Factor. These, and they just said
One
G4
Direction.
It was I don't think we'd have got away with One Direction.
I mean, you could have got away with Matey Boy from Blue, couldn't you?
DaCosta. Ryan.
Yeah, what's his name? No, what's the other one? He's the DaCosta one, isn't it? Or his
Anthony
name is
DaCosta.
Simon. I don't know. Do you want to know a little fun fact about Blue?
Yeah.
What?
Remember fun.
So, you don't understand like how
I did a performance with Lee
Ryan.
Ryan.
So, Blue sang me personally happy birthday for my 11th birthday.
Where's the fun?
So amazing.
Well, seriously, we went to this thing in Corby. Called It's Rockingham. It's a racetrack.
That older bloke that went with you on your stag do, did he tell you that was Blue?
Yeah.
He used to be a really bad ventriloquist as well.
It was actually yellow. It was the man yellow.
His hand up my bum and tell me not to say anything. No, it's Rockingham where they do the racing, right? And then afterwards, not anymore. They do the oval racing. After that, they did a concert, and it was Blue did the concert, and we went for my birthday with me and a couple of mates, and then we come out and we were sat like having some chips or whatever, sat on the side, and then I come up on the big like screen and it's like happy birthday, and they started singing happy birthday to me.
That's a fame, that is.
How old were you?
Twitter bio.
Sorry?
How old were you?
Oh, must have been 11, 12. About your age?
Yeah.
So this happened in 1963.
Whoa! So that was like early to the middle of 2000s.
One love.
Maybe
Easy.
2005, 2006, maybe, I don't know, I can't remember exactly.
Brilliant.
I'll have to find the VHS, Dave. Do you know what they are? They're like these things you used to stick. A bit like DVDs.
Get a telegram of the one of them.
Your dad's still got all the videos, mate, don't worry.
He's definitely got videos.
I was going to say, yeah.
No, Nottingham as well. They did a football manager event in Nottingham a few years ago. In the
is it
the video game museum or something like that?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never seen that actually used for anything.
Mate, so they did this
It's down like a
FM
hill, innit?
exhibition, and I'll be honest, and apologies because I know Leluja will listen to this because he like headed that up. The actual exhibition itself was underwhelming, like really underwhelming. Like
You don't normally say that word. You normally say a different word.
yeah.
Shite.
Yeah.
It's because he knows Kev's listening, he don't want to swear.
No, but then they did like a Q&A thing after Kevin Loki. Now that was pretty good, to be fair. But the main thing was because there was content creators there and stuff, and it fell that Wolves were playing Nottingham Forest away on the same day at like 3 p.m.
Oh, man.
So I drove up to Nottingham in the morning, did that exhibition, sort of glad that it was whack. And then by about 1:30, I was like, all right, I'm
Luke
going.
said whack.
Okay, I'm going.
He said whack.
I don't think I've said that in about
It
4
was
years.
whack.
I was going to say, fucking Blue said that before they sang happy birthday.
And even Curtie and Nerd were there, and they were like, right, we're coming to the match review because this is all right. Let's say this was shit. All right, happy with that, lad?
The Lujo, he's not happy.
Yeah, so
sorry, Kev. I thought it was great.
We walked to the forest ground, came back.
I didn't go.
Came back. Walls won. You'll be glad to know. Came back and they all had a meal or something. At this barbecue place. It was nice meal. And then afterwards they said, right, we'll go out for some drinks because a lot of people were staying in Nottingham. I think I was staying some holiday or whatever. So the first bar, I don't know if you know it, or first pub we went to was a bit like heavy metal, bit gothy sort of thing. And
I probably know which one it was.
So I walked in because obviously I had ID with me because I knew I was going to get ID'd everywhere. We all walked in.
Yeah.
The last person to walk in was Herb. You've seen Herb, fucking beard down here. They're like, yeah, mate, you got ID. We're like, what? He's like, yeah, you need ID to get in. We're like, what? So everyone had walked in, and I'm on my own because everyone's sort of milling around the bouncer. I'm already in this like heavy metal, death rock pub on my own. I'm shitting. Like Herb's on right. So I had to walk. I walked out. We walked round. There was like a back exit with a different bouncer. Oh, sound.
Yes, yeah.
And then the bouncer walked through. He was like, I fucking told you to go away. I was like, brilliant. So then we ended up going to Weatherspoons, right? And I said, Herb, you go first because if you get in, then sound. If not, we stuff. Herb just walks in, everyone walks in, and I'm last, and I give the guy my ID, and he goes, no away fans on a match day? Bearing in mind, this is like 9 or 10 p.m. I was like, what? I said, away fans? He goes, yeah, we just played Wolves. I was like, and he says, are you with this lot? I said, yeah. So he just walked in. I was like, this is really random. But yeah, that was Blue Lagoon night, that was. But yeah, he rejected Herb, who's got a beard down to his chest.
I was going to say, bouncers are just like...
They must have seen his content.
Amateurish.
Get out of here.
Nah.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find that picture of the older bloke. Right.
Who is it? The older bloke? Like, is he a relation, a family friend? Or just
no, he's a very good friend of mine. He's just old.
He's the older bloke. There's no other older blokes around.
Get in touch with him, but he's probably busy managing One Erection or whichever bands he's looking after these days.
One Erection.
That was probably the X Factor band he said.
Why was Nerd his manager?
I'm going to show this. I'm going to show it on screen. I don't know whether I should, but I am. Hang on,
can't see it, come on.
You can't, yeah.
Okay, I have to share it. Basically, it's because the light's on, but it is him sat in the middle of the road with no shirt on, just like crouched over, upset.
Ripped it off.
I'll put it in chat so you can see it.
Yeah.
I'll just see a head.
I've
I've
sat down.
I haven't seen that picture.
In the middle of
Niran's going, I've laid in that road.
That's my favourite.
What's that, sorry?
You're going, I've laid in that road.
Yeah, I probably have, to be honest with you. Couple of roads in Notts. Like,
I have not seen that picture in ages.
What's the go-to place? Like, if your mates were like, "Oh, we're going out this weekend." Like, was Spoons a place, or was Spoons never on the agenda?
Spoons is like if you just go in for like a couple of drinks or whatever, or you're like on the way to somewhere else. Like Rock City is somewhere that's really sick to go, like on a student night or whatever. But it depends on what day. I'm not a massive rock music person, so if you used to go on a Saturday, it was a bit like heavy.
Yeah. Was it rock music?
But any other day, so.
I can't remember.
It was Blue that night. Yeah, Blue tribute.
It was Blue. Yeah. That was G4, mate. I know what you're talking about. Live
what did they even put? I can't even remember them.
It's just four fat blokes, which is why we look like them.
Paul Potts here at the front.
Jesus.
Now, you've got quite a big walkabout as well, right? Is that down at the bottom of the town? I think
walkabout.
Was that Exeter? Crikey, it's all merging into one now.
I don't think we have a walkabout. we had an Oceana.
Oceana, what a throwback.
But it was on like loads of different floors, right? And there was like one, like the little cheese pop room was tiny. Yeah, okay. I've got another story, but I'm not going to tell it because I don't want it to be all about me.
Oceana, man. Have they all gone now, Oceana? Have they gone now, Oceanas?
Yeah, they've all turned into prisms, I think. So we've got Prism Knots now, which is
I thought you said prison.
Prism, yeah.
Prism, yeah. Hey, HMRP. It's taking a turn. It's that nightclub, I'm afraid. Yeah. There's lots, to be fair. It's a really good like uni. I don't know why I'm trying to say it.
Anyone else? Nottingham?
Work for Nottingham. if anyone's deciding where you want to go to uni, go to Nottingham.
I 10 out of 10 would go back again and have a night out there, to be fair.
All jokes aside, sorry, someone did ask me in my Twitch chat the other day, I'm going to Nottingham Uni, what's it like, Dave? And I was like, I don't know, like, I think I've been
Why?
there. Yeah.
How were you qualified to
I know, it was
this
Coventry, it was Coventry, like really random.
Oh, it was Coventry.
Like, mate, I've never been to Coventry in my life. I know I'm from that sort of neck of the woods.
Coventry Uni's wild.
Yeah.
I've heard Coventry Uni's wild.
Yeah.
To be fair, like
they're the ones that were breaking all the lockdowns, weren't it? They were having some mad parties.
Yeah. Coventry, Leicester, probably Trent as well.
Yeah.
NTU.
But did you go to uni or anything like that, or did you just jump straight into the content game, or like?
No, I went uni. I went Trent. So there's 2 unis in Notts. Uni of, which is for the dickheads, and then Trent, which is for the fun people. Yeah. We have like we have a varsity at the end of the year, like we battle against each other in all different sports and shit. But yeah, no, it was class. I was there for like 3 years. I did journalism as a degree because I thought I wanted to be a journalist. And now I stream FM.
Now you think most of them are dickheads.
Hey, don't get us.
But I can write. I can write things occasionally. But yeah, no, it was sick. I would recommend uni.
Oh.
I
didn't do.
Nottingham's got a good Hooters.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, we took a vegetarian to Hooters.
Bold decision.
Yeah. He literally had chips and everything. That's what he can eat. But
imagine walking in. You got any vegan options, mate? No.
It's the same bloke. He was how do I put it? Not very experienced with the other sex. Let's put it that way. So right. I don't think he was looking at the chips, so to be honest. So I think it was the perfect place to take a vegan.
Looking at the chicks instead.
No, he didn't like the chicken.
No, Nottingham's class. Love it there.
And what is, like, obviously a lot of the, lockdown too, you've been up to loads really, in terms of different, we spoke about it before off camera, loads of different little ventures you're getting into. So you got your YouTube side of things. You pushed. The esports thing, is that something you run or just a part of? Is it that?
So, no, I'm just like a part of that esports.
That esports thing.
I want to say Veloz.
It's kind of a big deal.
No, I didn't.
It's kind of a big deal.
No, I want to say Veloz, but I didn't want to say it wrong. What is it?
Yeah, it's because to be fair, it's stupid. It's like Italian. It's like Veloce. Is what it's pronounced. Yeah. But like they're like a esports and like management company basically, and I help like just appear in their videos and stuff occasionally. They do mostly F1 stuff. But,
so who's in it?
So me,
anyone we know?
Part of it.
Jem?
Arab's
Wolfie's part of it.
Viz, Jem works for them as well.
That's cool.
He's like a graphic designer for them. It's kind of a difficult thing to describe because they do a lot of different things. They have like their own YouTube channel which they do collabs and stuff with, and then they're like management, but then they're also an esports team as well. It's a bit of a mad one. But yeah, I've been part of them for a couple of years. Nice. And then there's Quadrant, and then the streaming. Which I don't know how I'm going to juggle this stuff when actual lockdown ends. But, so.
I mean, you just brushed over Quadrant there. That's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal, right?
But it is to me and you, right?
It's a mad one. It's a bit surreal. I can't lie. The thing is as well, like one of the guys who, because it's run, that's also linked to Veloce as well. And one of the guys who's like one of the producers there me and him have been trying to make it happen for like a year. So it only just came out like, I don't know, I think it was October, wasn't it? Or start of October or mid-October. But it's been going on for time, and Lando Sound basically is what I can give to the people that may have wanted to know about him. It's
pretty cool though. Just everything coming together is pretty cool, and it looks good.
Yeah,
it's funny. It's kind of just like, I don't know, the bits I've seen of it is its own Reddit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's like the thing is, it's very different to like what any like. I'm not trying to promo it. I swear, I'm not trying to like get your plugs out. But like, it is like there's not many sports people who do just like have a YouTube channel with like a bunch of mates or whatever. So it's quite cool and quite surreal again. His fans are also crazy. I'm not gonna lie. He has the biggest super fans ever. There's like fan cams floating about. It's a bit of a weird one. I'm used to people calling me a dickhead on from Football for FT.
Yeah, but
so it's been a bit of a culture clash.
Don't you have like 104 different out of context or different languaged FNG?
Yo, that as well.
Yeah,
that is class.
That's dedication.
Do you
for
think
the
that's
fans,
weird
that.
though, Niran, or do you like that, or do you not mind that?
When I first saw it, I'm not gonna lie, I had a mixture of emotions. Overall, it was just hilarious.
In what language was those emotions?
Depends on the account.
I saw a Maltese one. I saw a Maltese one of that. Someone replied to me. I was like,
that was Dave.
Maltese. Mate, I swear.
That was Dave.
That's Dave.
I'll delete that account. Yeah.
Second account.
Yeah.
The first one was Romanian. I remember it just coming up in my notifications and being like, what the fuck am I seeing here? Like, my whole bio was translated into Romanian. My latest tweet was Romanian, and I was just like, I have to tweet about this. And then obviously I brought attention to it, and like then there was like Polish Niran, American Niran, there was a Ghanaian Niran. I was like, American Niran, what's the point? It's the same language.
Soccer this week.
What's another favourite? Yeah, there was Norwegian. It was mental. I ended up in a group chat with them as well. Like they made it because they all collected together and made a group chat and put me in it. I was like, what's going on here? But it was just too funny. It's amazing.
I have to admit, I found myself scrolling through chuckling when I first saw them, thinking, like, you've either got the craziest fans or just the most dedicated fans, because that's fair play.
Mate, my replies were an absolute state for about 2 months. It was just literally what I tweeted, but in bare different languages. It was just Google Translate Central underneath. There was no actual opinions or anything in my comments for like a month after. But yeah, big fan of that. Can't lie.
Turns out it was the same guy just using Google Translate on every different language.
I've never seen them tweet at the same time.
I've never seen them in the same room.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, but yeah, I don't know. Lucky to have like dedicated / crazy. And now there's more crazy ones from Lando, but we love it. It's cool.
Have you two got any more questions about Lando? Because I don't know much about it, so I can't even get involved. To be fair.
Get them all out.
I saw the crash helmet design the other night.
Right, yeah.
Because he does have quality crash helmets. So I'm hoping that this becomes a thing, that just some of these more mad ones just appear, in front of millions of people, and there he is, just someone's done clip art.
I was quite proud of mine. I'm not gonna lie. It was for anyone.
Your one was good.
Basically, cheers. Appreciate it. The thing is, I'm weird. I've never really used Photoshop for actual graphic design in my life. So when it came to this stream and I was meant to be designing a helmet on Photoshop, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I was just like, fuck it. George Russell's head.
Yeah.
Copy and paste it loads. Dash it over the rest of the helmet.
Yeah.
I don't think George has seen it yet, which is a shame. But I hope he does.
You got all these brands on. You could probably squeeze the 5-star pod on there if you wish.
Oh yeah, mate. Chuck me a
$5.
$5. I'll dash it on there, mate. Don't worry about it. I don't know how Tesco ended up on there. It was just a suggestion.
Imagine that. He went with the one design. It's got our logo just like really small on the helmet.
I'll try and make it happen. Yeah,
that'll be the one time he wins as well. He gets pole on that, whatever,
It's like when we photoshopped a Cardo onto Curtis' thumbnail.
Yeah. He never knew, did he? He never knew. Yeah.
I think you got to tell the whole story there. I don't think you could just drop that like that. Because
he took some time off because he was going to give kind of being a content creator a full-time gig a go, and then it didn't happen, and then he started just doing a bit of delivery driving. Was it a Cardo? I can't remember if it was a Cardo or not. And he basically ended up reversing the van into a ditch, and then he just was like, fuck this, and just walked off and just left the van in a ditch.
So then he asked for some help with a thumbnail or something, and then one of them, I don't know who it was, one of them just put the Ocado logo into the thumbnail.
Just on the back of someone's shorts.
Back like a sponsorship. Mate, he uploaded it. Mate, he didn't know. Yeah.
Didn't know.
That's amazing. Why did he just leave?
I think
because he just didn't care. Like, he didn't care for any of it. Like, he's just like, I'm doing this as because I have to do this. I don't want it.
To be fair, I'm glad he did, because it was a brilliant story.
Yeah. And then literally
we dined out on that for about a month.
I was going to say, about the next month of pods, we just did so many ditch and van jokes, and it was just amazing.
Even on FM, those are alright, I need players, and we just started thinking of names with ditching a van or ditch van, like all these Dutch names with van in there and stuff.
I didn't think about that.
He searched one. I'm sure he searched one. He's not coming up.
Well, where's this guy?
Lando. No, I think I'll play it cool. However, if there is an opening to be a friend, I'm in. Like, I'm happy.
We can do a quadrant collab here.
I don't need to be in the quadrant. That's fine, mate. I'm just happy to sit and just be friends. You know, in a WhatsApp group or a Discord group. Just sneak me in there in the corner, mate. It'll be fine.
I'll tell you what.
One more for a
water boy.
I'll introduce him to FM. We'll get him in the next streamer show.
Yes.
Or just ask him, does he know a decent meal deal, and then not just link him up, you know?
I was going to say.
Because he's got to be on the run quite a lot. So I'm thinking that he must have a meal deal or two.
Mate, he'll be travelling a lot as well. Yeah. So like going through like airports and stuff and train stations.
That man's got meal deal written all over him.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'd love
mate. That man don't know what Tesco's is.
He's Ocado only, mate.
Yeah, he don't do his own shopping.
Maybe that's where Curtie ditched the van.
On the way.
Outside Lando Norris's house.
What a coincidence.
Oh, no, because I'm going to tell you a weird story now. When I used to work for Dyson, fixing vacuum cleaners, right? And I'm not going to name the person, but I got the details up for a job, and they had a famous name. And I knew the famous person, right? What the bloke looked like, but I wasn't 100% sure. So on my work iPad, I just Googled it to make sure if it was the famous person, I knew it was the famous person, and then just minimised it down. Anyway, I went in, and it was the bloke that I thought it was, and we were chatting away, fixing his vacuum cleaner. I said, "Oh, I can't fix it. We're going to have to sort you out a new one. But we don't do that model anymore, so let me show you other models." I hit Savari on the iPad. And I just Googled all of his pictures. And I'm like,
oh my god.
Yep, just these ones here.
I thought it was going to be Pornhub or something.
Oh, it's so awkward. That would have been fine. I would have preferred that. It was just so awkward. And he's just like, yep, okay, yeah. So you've just Googled pictures of me before you turned up.
Who was it?
It wasn't anyone special. It was a rugby player. It actually was Johnny May. He plays for England.
Johnny, if you're watching, do apologise.
Yeah, apologies.
Well, no,
we'll get you another new vacuum cleaner.
He does remember it because my mate worked at, or used to, as of a week and a half ago, worked at Gloucester Rugby as a physiotherapist.
Oh, right,
and he now he used to play for Gloucester. He went to Leicester, and now he's come back to Gloucester. And my mate reminds him of it. Well, used to remind him of it quite often. That, do you remember when the Dyson man had pictures of you on his fucking iPad? Yeah, that was my mate. I was best man at his wedding.
Oh, that's class. At least you've got someone who can like just.
It's a strange brag, isn't it?
Interesting.
So, honest to God, there were so many other pictures I'd have preferred. I mean, I would have preferred the GIF of me falling flat on my face to be on the screen than the pictures of him. It's just so awkward.
I'd want to.
To be fair, I bet. Oh, yeah, no, I was going to say to be fair, but no.
Just imagine that if I came around to your house to fix yours and I had your YouTube channel up.
That'd be pretty cool.
I wanted to see.
I'd be kind of wavy, actually.
Yeah, but then the red
button, I haven't subscribed.
Dislikes the last 5 videos. What's going on there?
Yeah. Wait, so you're that guy who's been leaving those comments? Okay, all right.
I go on the Twitter on the iPad and it's just got 107 different accounts.
Polish
just in
FNG.
And it was just me. Yeah, mate, it was so awkward, man. It was mate, I still cringe to this day when I talk about it.
Oh, that's class. That's
I had one at work when, remember when David Unsworth was in charge of Everton? Just for a little bit.
He had a great spell, by the way.
We sold something. I run like an online shop. We sold something to a guy in Liverpool called David Unsworth, and I thought, mate, that's like such a weird coincidence. That. So it was really bad. But I googled the street, and I thought this has got to be him. Like, there's not going to be a different David Unsworth in Liverpool, and it was the biggest shithole I think I've ever seen in the UK. Right? I thought
Liverpool, so you never know.
I thought no disrespect to David Unsworth. Not the Liverpool guy, Everton guy, if you're listening, but I thought that can't be him, can it?
Imagine being an FM fan being called David Unsworth and going, fucking hell,
alright.
This fucking lives with his mum and dad, he's beefing about my house.
I'm unsubscribed.
As he's boarding up the windows listening.
It might have been him, to be fair. It might have been him, but
it might have been him.
Shocking.
Yeah. Oh, mate. It's funny how often shit like that happens, though.
Fun times. In terms of...
I've gone so off point.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love it, though. I love it.
It is the best way.
In terms of these podcasts here, and one of the biggest reasons we did them, obviously the daily podcast, was trying to raise awareness for like mental health and stuff like that. So getting people to know there's people to talk to and so on. It is such a difficult subject to talk about, and obviously in terms of reaching out and stuff like that. Do you have sort of any advice, or have you ever had to? You've been in such a bad place where you've had to reach out to people, or do you think you'd be able to reach out if you ever got to that place?
Yeah, I think like the problem is it's so much easier like said than done to like actually speak to someone or reach out. But even like when it's especially at the moment, because you can usually share experiences with other people, because like I'll call my dad and be like, oh, I'm just bored, I feel like or whatever I'm feeling low or whatever. And I think the crucial thing is there's always like people who can give you advice and share your experiences, especially right now, that you can reach out to, and they won't judge you for coming out and saying something that might indicate that you're down or whatever. Equally, in the same regard, like making sure that your friends are okay. I remember sharing something on Insta the other day, and it was quite a good point actually. It was like asking how your friends are twice, right? Because it's so easy to be asked how you are, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm alright, it's fine. And that's it. That's the end of the conversation. You end up talking about something else, and that distracts you from whatever. Always checking up twice is always, I guess, something important. Asking for a second time, just in case you think they're down or whatever. But it's tough, man. It's being away from family, like not having, like even just stupid like little stuff like not being able to go out and celebrate your birthday or something, or like see people for their birthday. Not being able to go to a football match because it's a bit of a, escape from everything. It's tough, man. It's been a tough time.
Yeah. I think it's very difficult when you can't be face to face and you ask somebody if they're okay, because it's easier for somebody to kind of fake it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You drop a text, you're like, yeah, man, how you doing? How you getting on? Yeah, I'm fine. It's easy to write that.
You can think about it. Yeah, exactly. You can think about your response. There's no body language. Like it's So.
But when it's face to face, it's almost. I mean, unless you're Daniel Negreanu, it's impossible to play that poker face. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, moving on from a bit of a low subject in terms of learning a bit more about you and your interests, Niran, we'd like to find out books, TV shows, podcasts. Are you a big book reader? Do you enjoy your books, or is that nothing that you've sort of got into?
It's something that I would love to. It's just that it sounds stupid again. It's more like dedicating the time to reading something over a long period of time. I don't feel like I'm someone that has a low attention span, because I don't think I'd be able to make videos if that was the case. I'd just get bored halfway through and be like, oh, fuck it. But I don't know. I did have a phase where I was reading a lot, and I used to enjoy like a lot of sci-fi. There was one book that my dad put me on that then became a film called like Ready Player One. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Spoke about that, didn't they?
Yeah, Luke.
Yeah, Omega Luke. Yeah.
So I loved that, and then I kind of got into that for a while afterwards. But then, like at that point, I think I got into a really busy time at uni and stuff, and just didn't really, get a chance to pick up new stuff. I'm more into like in terms of TV. I don't watch a huge amount of TV. I tend to watch YouTube more. Yeah. I think kind of naturally, because you can kind of choose and tailor what you like. When I was growing up, more often than not, I'd flick through TV Guide and not find anything. I just watched like whatever my parents wanted to watch, really, even when I was young. But I'm more into just like music, really. I'm like heavily into different types of music. So
what's your someone said to you though, like, what's your go-to like classic TV series that you've watched all the way through and you've enjoyed? Like, a lot of people obviously shouting at the US sitcoms, Breaking Bad, Narcos, or whatever. Have you got a series that you've like go to, like, yeah, that was sick? Or have you never really got into TV series at all?
No, yeah. To be fair, no, I have. There are some series, especially like it's more the easy to watch American stuff, I would say, or the Office UK is one, to be honest. And if I was going to choose a UK one like that, but then I'm a massive fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine as well.
Dude likes it, sure.
Yeah, so I love that. Whenever that just happens to pop up on Netflix, I'll just dash that on.
Bosh.
I also love Top Boy as well.
I've never watched that.
That's really good.
I need to watch that.
I could rewatch Top Boy, the most recent series, especially, like over and over again.
It's a bit of you, Dave, to be fair.
Yeah, I need to watch that. There was what was the one I watched over lockdown?
Yeah, you would like it.
There was one I watched over lockdown. It was two like pretty high-profile detectives set in London, like. There's a few series, but I watched the latest one, and there was this like Greek drug lord that had come to the UK. I watched it.
Was it Bulletproof?
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
Bulletproof.
Yeah, it was really good. That was as well. Bulletproof. Yeah. But I was expecting Duke just to go 9-9 when he said Brooklyn. When Duke was watching that, literally just say it like every 5 minutes in the chat.
So I have a really bad habit of moaning that I can't find anything to watch, and then when I find something to watch, watching it on times 1.5, because that's how I like to consume everything. Honestly, I hate watching things. Yeah, it's weird, right? So I listen to all my podcasts, I listen to everything that I listen to, watch YouTube videos on times 1.5. Just like it just speeds everything up, right? But then I moan that I've got nothing to watch because everything takes 50% quicker, right?
That's so interesting. I'm actually really interested by that, because that would be a whole different.
It's still audible, like you can still. To be fair, I've tried it. It's still like if I'm watching my own videos back.
To be honest, I'll like listen to the pod. And then I come in and speak to these later, and I'm like, "You lot sound weird," because like, it cuts the bullshit. To be honest, like it just speeds everything up, and I find it's the only way I can consume the content. But I was watching 9-9 in like times 1.5, so like the 27-minute episodes are like 16, 17 minutes, you know. So you sit there and it's just like bang, and I'm just like, Joe. It's another one, and then it like the intro comes in. I'm like 9-9, and then you realise it's 4 a.m. and you've woke the kids up.
I think Hitler's upstairs. You know what I mean?
I literally watched one episode on like E4, and I was like, "This is so me. This is so me."
Yeah.
And then for the next 3 or 4 days, I just went and I watched from series 1, series 1 to like the final series that was out at that time. And I've got about 3 episodes left, and I don't want to watch them because I don't want the series to end. So in my mind, you know, I can always go back and watch it again. But like, if I watch it all and get to the end, it's like there's no point watching it.
Yeah.
But, it's such a good series.
I just find it easy to watch.
Oh,
like,
man.
Whatever mood I'm in, and I just love stuff like that.
I'd go back and watch it again. 9 out of 9 would watch again.
No. You know what I used to love as well before they absolutely... I always get fearful when I say this, just in case anyone hasn't watched it, but Game of Thrones. Has anyone here not watched Game of Thrones?
I've not watched it.
No.
None of you've watched
it? Just you, yeah.
Oh, okay, bun that. I won't say anything then.
No, I would never watch it. Like,
I was about to say a mad one. You won't ever watch it.
I just don't have the commitment for it, mate.
It's never appealed to me, to be fair. Never appealed to me.
Just always in a rush. Like, I haven't watched it's awful. I haven't watched Breaking Bad. I haven't watched Walking Dead. I haven't watched Game of Thrones.
I've never watched Walking Dead, to be fair. But I feel like some stuff like that I kind of want to wait for later, almost. That sounds weird. There's certain albums as well.
It was shit.
It was actually.
I love my zombie stuff. Like I love like playing DayZ and stuff. So
yeah.
The first 3 seasons of it really, really good, and then it just started getting so boring. The amount of people you talk to where they say season 4, they just stop watching.
Yeah, to be fair.
There's loads of series like that though. They just try and force it, didn't they? Like, to be fair, the US office is like really good throughout, but to be fair, it's not the same when Michael Scott leaves, is it? It's not. It's still good, but it's not as good as it was. That's the same with Lost. Like I said before, we lost. So after series 3 or 4, you're like, right, they're trying to force this now, and the ending was pretty whack. I'm not saying that word again. It was pretty whack. So
there's only
Dave's bringing it back.
What's going on? He's never said it before today.
There's only one like thing that I'd watch, and I'd say that series 1 to series 10 was spot on. And you're gonna hate me for this, but it's Friends. Throughout the whole of Friends, that doesn't get shit. In my opinion, it doesn't get shit. That and How I Met Your Mother. I think How I Met Your Mother. If you haven't watched How I Met Your Mother, great thing, absolute quality, and it doesn't get shit. Every episode's a banger.
And it's not about Wendy.
Like Friends.
It's like watching Dave's videos. It's like watching his Rotherham series. Every episode was a fucking banger.
Love that.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, there you go.
I like Friends, to be fair. I like Friends.
Friends is quality.
I've never watched Friends.
But it's a good show.
I think Friends is great. 10 out of 10.
People say that it's dead now because they're trying to be different. I think more usually, not all the time. There are people obviously that don't enjoy it. But I think it's become a trend recently where people are like, it was overrated, and then people have just jumped on it. But I thought it was alright.
The one thing you got to remember, like, I mean, this is I mean, we can do a different podcast about Friends if you want. But the one thing you got to remember about Friends is what it did and how forward thinking it was. You know, that it had a lesbian marriage in like the early 90s, and it had like, you know, same sex. It was so forward in what it was. It was, you know.
Yeah, it broke a lot of boundaries.
Absolutely, and now they're trying to close those boundaries up, aren't they? You know, but yeah, it did, really did.
I like Jennifer Aniston tried to push the no bra movement as well.
Oh, mate.
Rated it.
Now we're going to get onto a whole new debate. Jennifer Aniston. Yeah. You know what, right?
That's me done for the pod now. I've lost.
He's lost. There we go. Refer back to that show. This is a bit of a, like, maybe out there one, but I used to love watching 24 as well. Like the original 24.
Yeah.
Concept of that was sick.
Yeah.
Having an hour each episode was lit. Or like each
What's
episode
that about,
was an
24?
hour of the day. Big fan.
What's that about?
Oh, it's so it's like a kind of crime-esque, like, action sort of show in terms of, like, you know, America's under threat from terrorism, sort of that sort of thing. But like the concept of it is that the main guy, what's the guy's name?
Jack Bauer.
Kiefer Sutherland, but
Jack Bauer.
Yeah, Jack Bauer. There we go. Jack Bauer, Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah, has 24 hours to deal with the situation at hand, and each episode is 1 hour of that day, like real time. So as he's doing stuff, other stuff is happening with other characters, and it's just like a really cool concept. So
I'm trying to think. Well, the only other thing I would say, like the only other series I thought is a banger, is Recess. It is.
Absolute screamer of a show.
It is. It is literally every kid wanted to be TJ. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think I've ever watched Recess.
No, Hey Arnold.
Oh, Hey Arnold was amazing, mate.
Also a banger.
Hey Arnold, Saved by the Bell. I used to love watching Keenan and Cal.
Respect the Cramp.
Keenan and Cal.
Respect the
Keenan
Cramp
Cal was
Queens,
elite.
I was like Drake and Josh era. So I was just like a couple years.
I wasn't into the Disney hype. I wasn't.
If you like Drake and Josh, have you ever watched Dobrik's vlogs? With Josh,
yes.
with Josh Peckin.
Amazing.
It's impossible to watch that because if you're a Drake and Josh fan.
Yeah, I know. It's it's very mad. Not gonna lie, but
I'm trying to think. What was the other one? What was the football? No, Renford Rejects was a good one. Remember watching that?
You're not even that old. How do you remember that?
My brother used to watch it. So my brother's like your age.
Right, I mean, I was in school when Renford Rejects were a thing.
Yeah. Like, we used to have Nickelodeon on them. Anyway. My parents weren't that good. They just chucked us in front of a telly. And
you can tell.
That's the best way.
I mean, they got Blue to sing to me, so what the fuck? What do you want to
Exactly.
Humble brag.
do? Weird flex.
I'm going to tweet Lee Ryan. Did
I
you
better
sing
not
to
flex
this
in
boy?
this, makes it all rip.
I see you put your picture in the chat.
Oh, I love that. I can't identify where that is, you know. And it's really annoying me. I really want to know what street that actually is.
Well, just put a little flag in there next time you're not.
It's like the shittest geoguesser
This
ever.
old bloke it's out here.
Band manager was here.
Old bloke was here.
To be fair, I didn't take the picture, and I do not remember. I couldn't tell you, but and it's probably before the time of this shows my age. Before the time of when you take a picture, it instantly tells you exactly where you are in the world.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Up the location.
That's class though.
And in like podcasts, I know you listen to a lot of music. Are you into your podcasts or?
To be honest with you, it's not even that I don't like necessarily want to. It's just like I'm not the greatest at time management, so I find it really hard. That's a lie. Actually, I watch a lot of streams, but I don't know. I find it difficult to dedicate sitting down for like 2 hours necessarily and watching a whole podcast.
Let's rip it up. Rip it up. Music. What's your favourite album at the moment?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh mate.
And then favourite album.
A recommendation.
What genre? You hip hop grime sort of thing.
To be fair, I like a lot of different things. So I like rap and grime a lot. I love grime. I wish it hadn't died, but it has. UK rap like Bashment and stuff, but then also I like a lot of like early thousands R&B.
Yeah.
Now R&B, indie music.
Oh, you listen to anything then, yeah.
Anything really.
Blue?
If I'm in a club, I love house
good at
music.
anything.
Like it just as long as it's like good. I don't.
Any Blue?
Not often, to be honest with you. They
I'll text him now, mate. Just let him know. He wanted me to ask you. He's a big fan.
Mate,
was a big fan.
They refused to play my birthday, so since then.
Didn't Anthony DaCosta from Blue? Didn't he go? You know, on Sky Sports, and they had that weird phase last year of getting random people in. They got Anthony DaCosta to be the Tottenham expert last year on Sky Sports News.
What?
I mean, he knows a lot, man.
Wasn't that a skit on Soccer AM?
No, mate, this is legit. That is legit.
No, Soccer AM.
Yeah, who?
But yeah,
have you watched much grime or like UK rap live, like concerts and stuff before? Obviously, COVID.
Yeah. I've actually I saw Bugsy Malone
Bugs, yeah.
live in Notts. That was interesting.
Bugsy, he what was it? He performed at an Adidas event. No, Puma event, Man City kit launch. I went to with my mate. Got invited, and Bugsy performed at that. And so did H. That was before H was big. And like he brought out like one or two tunes, and I was like, oh, I wonder.
Steps in it.
Yeah. I said, I wonder if H will be performing as well. We got there and he was on the set list. And after, I went out for a burger and I'm stood next to H. No word of a lie. And I'm there like, this is a bit. Because I knew who he was because I was sort of into that thing. And then like a month later, mate, he just blew up. It was mad. And then
I've seen him walking through Nottingham for some reason. I think he was going for a gig. I think he was at a gig at some point in Nottingham. I was walking to uni. I just walked past him. I was like, what?
And then we went out after that night out, and then we after that event, and we went back to the hotel, and we were with a bunch of lads, and they sort of went ahead of us. So they got back to the hotel about 2 minutes before us. We got back into the hotel lobby, like, oh, look who we got a picture with. Mate, Bugsy Malone had walked through. They had all selfies with him, and we were 2 minutes behind, and we're like, fuck's sake.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, Bugsy's a good one. I've seen. I
think I saw Bugsy in like 2015. It was time ago. It was like before he fully blew as well.
Yeah. Anyone else of note, you reckon?
Well, festivals I've seen like people like AJ Tracy and stuff. The annoying thing is like I'm really into old like grime music, and you know they for those that don't know, they used to do like sets where they do like freestyles back to back and stuff on like radio, and then there's like old DVDs like they're kind of like relics of this. They used to like put out 2-hour DVDs of just like grime artists just rapping like back to back and stuff. So there's like those from like 2007 and shit.
Cyphers are good though, stuff like Cyphers and that, and like
Cyphers, the
Red Bull ones they used to do as well.
That's where I first.
The Red Bull ones they used to do as well. The Red Bull music, like
the Red Bull ones. They used to do like Christmas ones, and like there was Mind the Gap or something, which was like if you were from London, you were on one team.
That was it.
If you were from like the Midlands, you were on the other
Midlands.
team.
London was class. The one they had AJ Tracy, Dave on the one team versus like Kamikaze and stuff like that, and Mez on the other team.
Mez. I saw Mez.
Mez is jokes, man. I could listen to Mez all day.
So Kamikaze is also a footballer.
Yeah. Dagenham and Redbridge.
Yeah, he plays for Dagenham and Redbridge, but he's also a rapper at the same time.
Yeah.
That's class.
And then but like album wise, I just listen to music all the time. Like I think one of my favourite albums ever is probably To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick
big
Lamar.
album. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'm not gonna lie. To be fair, I love Good Kid, Mad City as well.
Good Kid, Mad City is good as well.
But To Pimp a Butterfly is just amazing. I'm probably a bit of a music nerd, I'm not gonna lie. Like I break down music and listen to like bass lines and all sorts of like different shit. I play guitar.
That'd be good content, you know. I'd watch that content if you did stuff like that on music, or even did a stream on it.
Oh yeah. I'd actually love to. I think I might do a music channel like next year.
Even reaction stuff, mate. Like I watched, I don't know, Lee to the Bite. He reacts to a lot of grime and stuff like that, and he started getting into it a bit more. Where he's talking about like different elements of the song, but then there's other reactions. I'm like, oh, can you hear that double entendre in the back there? And all these harmonies. I'm like, what the fuck are you on about, mate? Just like listen to the bar. I just want you to explain the bars to me. You know what I mean?
So I did music A level.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of like random shit that I listen to. I'm like, oh yeah, sonically this sounds
that bar was
amazing.
good. But did you hear that crescendo in the Did you hear that crescendo in the background just there? That was what are you on about, man?
It's so good though. I love that shit.
I'd say one of my favourite ones I went to a example gig in Birmingham O2 Academy. It was like the third room, which was like tiny.
Yeah, they got a few.
And we got there quite early. We played football before, and we headed up there, me and a couple of our mates. And we stood in the bar, and there was about 30 people in there. And this ginger kid with a loop pedal just comes out.
Ed Sheeran.
Turns out to be Ed Sheeran. Yeah, like 3 months later, blew up. But then like Devlin come on, and I think Devlin's quality.
Devlin's amazing.
I didn't realise until the other day he's 30, like 31, 32.
I thought he'd be older than that. I thought he'd be older than that though as well, Devlin. Because he's been around for years, isn't he?
He was the old school. He was like old school, like 07, like him, Skep to JME.
I don't think I look like the biggest rap fan in the world, but like for me, I appreciate how difficult it is to do that, and I really enjoy listening to it.
You know,
I'm a massive example fan. The
worst one I went to was a couple of years ago, and my girlfriend had bought tickets. Her and her brothers were quite into Steph London. And it was a Friday night in Birmingham Academy, the smaller one, I think, again, because there's only one floor. There's not even like a terrace or whatever they call it, like. And
it was tiny, literally tiny.
So I walk. They're like, her and her mum were going out. They had something to do. They had free tickets, and her brothers are quite fairly young, to be fair. And they're like, "Can you take him?" I was like, "Steph London." So I had to go. Me and her two younger brothers, i.e. the three only boys in the whole fucking room. So, and I was there, they were like, are you like old brothers? And I had to explain the situation. We're right at the front as well. Steph London was like, we want to recreate my music video. And it's where all these birds are just on stage twerking and that. Literally the whole of the crowd gets on stage and it's just me stood there in front of them like, what's going on here? Like, it was the most awkward experience of my life. It was horrendous. And it was like the only person she brought out, like she brought Lotto Boys out. And that was it. And I was there like, mate, because it was horrendous, man. Absolutely horrendous.
Oh, mate.
I had to drive my sister-in-law and her friends to an N-Dubs concert.
N-Dubs, man, yes.
Which actually turned out to be pretty decent, right? The only reason I agreed was because Example was supporting them. And Tiny Temper, Tinchy Strider come out with the glasses. Yeah, and what's the other geese? Because they performed, that was when Number One was out.
Number One, yeah.
And it was like, it was Number One. And there was another guy.
Mr. Hudson, no?
Hang on. Agro Santos.
Oi,
Do you remember that? Do you remember that geezer?
Yeah.
I can't even remember the song now, and like literally, but that was like really popular at the time.
Agrosantos.com.
Yeah.
Agrosantos.com. It was just from that was the whitest thing in the world. Yeah. But no, it was it was.
Dupe's got a gig for Compare the Market.
It was just so random that like this geezer, and then he just disappeared into the like. And I actually saw him live twice. I went to a diversity, I wouldn't say concert, but gig, and that was at Swindon Oasis, and that's when I got my finger broke because we were sat quite close to the front.
I was about to say.
She was of age. Don't panic. Was quite close to the front, and they come out with like these towels, and they were swinging these towels as doing their dancing, and then they chucked them out. So I was quite tall. Well, I'm still tall now. And I caught it, and as I caught it, like the towel wrapped around my finger, and then like this like 6-year-old bloke behind just went and yanked it, and my finger just went back, and I'm just like, that was mine. And as I looked, it was just all these big beefy blokes. I was like, you have it, mate. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Didn't need it anyway.
As I broke my finger, and then he come on halfway through. I mean, it made my finger so much better.
Amazing.
Fingers flying around like that.
What is it? Where are we going?
What was the girl that sung that with him?
Oh, that tune. I don't know.
Do
you look familiar? Where do I know you from?
You said you know it.
To visit me at agrosantos.com. That's the one. Again, the whitest rendition of that bar ever. Right, let's end it there.
Agrosantos.com doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, he's not paid the domain name for about 10 years, probably. That's why.
I was gonna say, why is he still got the website open? If realistically,
right, I'm gonna move.
Brazilian rapper.
Let's move on. Let's finish.
His real name's Yuri, by the way.
Yuri Tillman.
No one cares.
Yuri Santos.
Literally no one.
YuriSantos.com.
Kimberly Walsh. Kimberly Walsh.
That's the next. Yuri Santos is the next Wonder Kid on the next FM. I heard.
He was in I'm a Celebrity. What the fuck? Agro Santos was in I'm a Celebrity season 10 in 2010.
I think I do remember that.
Tough year for celebrities.
It was.
I was gonna say that's real Z list.
It
come and get you some.
At 5,
come and get you
featuring
some.
Kimberly Wyatt.
Yeah, man.
There you go. That's a fun fact you didn't want to. Everyone go out and listen to that song.
Why is everyone frowning, man? It's actually a
Stream it today.
It's actually a good tune. Come and get this candy.
Oh mate, I can't believe he's on it. I'm a celebrity.
Right, let's end it there. This podcast has taken a huge tangent. Niran, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. It's been fantastic talking as always. For everyone as well, be sure to check us out. All the links for each of us will be in the podcast description down below. Of course, if you are struggling, you want to talk to somebody professionally about it, we'll leave the links to those in the description as well. And if you want to reach out to us, info@westreamfm.com on the email as well. But until next time, look after yourselves, stay safe, and we'll see you all next time. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
See ya.
Adios.
Can we try and get Agro Santos on? I've just followed and DM'd him on Twitter.